Renovating a 5-inch gauge sweep piece steam locomotive, Part 9, removing the right hand steam chest cover and steam inlet pipe. I scrape off most of the old paint and then immerse the cover in cellulose thinners and clean the part thoroughly before giving it a coat of Etch Primer, using my improvised tabletop spray booth. 24 hours later I paint the part using HMG C71 Satin Black. While the steam chest cover Etch Primer is drying, I repaint the side of the smokebox saddle and the steam chest, also with C71 Satin Black paint, using a paintbrush. I know I've already shown this process on the other cylinder, but this is a different one, it's at the other side. To alleviate the boredom and repetition, quite a lot of this video is running at a higher speed. Using a socket driver, I'm removing the nuts from the studs on the cylinder. One of the nuts was very tight, so I used a ring spanner on that first. I can't get enough leverage on the socket driver when it's really close to the smokebox. These type of spanners are available from Blackgates Engineering. They're made from stainless steel and they are laser cut, well worth having in your toolbox. I use them a lot. The rest of the nuts on the studs came away without event. But once again, the nearer I am to the smokebox with the socket driver's handle, the less pressure I can put on the nuts, but luckily the rest of the nuts came loose quite easily and there were no more problems. Often when doing things like this, the very last part of the job can go wrong, but in this case it didn't, and the last nut came off easily. As shown in a previous episode, the one at the other side, I removed the washers using a Stanley knife blade, being very careful not to cut my fingers. And also being doubly careful not to drop any of these washers on the floor because they are brass and my magnet will not find them and they may be lost forever. Luckily, every one of them came off easily. In this clip, I'm removing the final 2 washers from the studs on the steam chest. The next part of the job doesn't involve the Stanley knife blade because first of all I slackened off the nuts and removed them from the steam pipe flange. Then I undid the nut at the top and carefully lifted the steam pipe clear and tipped the washers into the red box with the rest of them. This next part of the job could be dangerous and you must wear eye protection. The steam chest cover is firmly stuck to the steam chest and I don't want to use a screwdriver because that will damage the part. This Stanley knife blade was actually damaged by doing the job. You can see if you look carefully there's a chunk out of the blade, but it didn't damage the steam chest cover, and also it didn't damage the steam chest. There's a difference between this cylinder and the one on the other side. The one on the other side had a gasket that I had to scrape off. This one doesn't have a gasket, it's just got some kind of sealant, and I can just leave that as it is. I'm going to make a gasket for it though. But I don't want to show making a gasket again because it's very simple and I've shown it in a previous episode. In this clip I'm removing the snifting valve from the steam chest cover and also the blanking plug. I don't really know what the function of the blanking plug is. Maybe I'll have a look in the book and see if it shows it in there. The next job is harmless enough. I need to scrape off all the paint and I'm using the edge of a steel rule for this. Sometimes I will use a Stanley knife blade not fitted into the handle, but that's a bit dangerous and I have in the past cut myself by doing this, so these days, being sensible, I try and use a steel rule. I can get most of the paint off and the cellulose thinners that I'm about to use will remove the rest. This old paint is in a bit of a state. It's been on the steam chest for a long time. To finish the job, here comes the cellulose thinners in a plastic tub. I'm using just enough to cover the part, and I left the steam chest cover in the thinners overnight. What I'm doing here is cleaning up the paintwork on the steam chest itself. I'm using green Scotch-Brite, which seems to get rid of it quite easily. I'm also going around the cylinder because what I am going to do very shortly is repaint this area of the cylinder and steam chest. As I clean around the top of the steam chest where the steam pipe fits, I notice the damage to the paint on the smokebox saddle. I removed most of the loose paint from the smokebox saddle using Scotch-Brite, and unfortunately, after painting it with Etch Primer, I realised by looking at this clip that I've missed a bit. But never mind, it will be okay once it's painted. For the purposes of the video I carried on, but in reality, once I'd painted it with the black paint, I scraped off the damaged part in the middle at the bottom, and then painted it black again. This paint, like most paint when it is wet, looks really horrible on the part you are painting, but this particular paint, when it dries, looks like it's always been there. It looks even worse when I repair the paintwork on the frames. But you'll have to trust me on this. You'll notice in future episodes that the paintwork really does look okay once it's dried. This is only the first of 2 coats, but once again I'm trying not to show everything because it would get very boring and very tedious. It's bad enough as it is. It's okay though, because the other alternative would be to dismantle everything and paint each part separately and put it all back together, and I really don't want to do that. I want this engine to look like it was built in 1987. I thought I'd show you my improvised spray booth on the kitchen table. And yes, it's a large cardboard box. Without the cardboard box, the paint goes everywhere. I have tried it before. Put some newspapers down, paint something, and then spend quite a lot of time wiping paint off the surrounding area. This large cardboard box really does work. I would like to mention though that it's only a good idea if you live by yourself. In this clip you can see that I'm using self-etch primer, and I've painted the steam chest cover, which is currently sat on an aerosol can cap. It makes it very easy to rotate the part to spray the other sides. With etch primers it's a good idea to let the paint thoroughly dry before you apply the top coat. 24 hours later, I apply the top coat, once again C71 Black Satin paint from HMG Paints. There are other good paints out there, but I do like this stuff and it's fairly heat resistant too. As per the instructions, I shook the can vigorously for 3 minutes, although I haven't shown 3 minutes worth of shaking. Here I'm spraying on the top coat. First of all I spray the edges, then I spray the top. If you do it the other way around, you may not get quite as good a finish on the top surface, which is the one that's most visible. And that is it for this episode. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainstream Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.